According to a 1995 report prepared by the American Medical Association, an American woman is beaten every 9 seconds. Today, women are more often in danger with their partners than they are with strangers. Violence, particularly violence against women, is a problem that has been tolerated, ignored, and rationalized for too long.
This isn't just something new that started. We're talking thousands of years of human behavior that we're trying to change, and we're changing it starting at one small community at a time. But I do think it's doable. I think it's, the more we know, the more we can do.
Many of the other social ills that we face in this society have their origin in learning how to deal with conflict in a violent way in your home of origin.
The more effective we are at controlling and reducing domestic violence, the more effective we'll be at reducing rates of violence in our community in general.
In most cases, studies show that domestic violence is a learned behavior and that it can be unlearned.
And then the behaviors are translated into other types of more violent actions. And so we want to educate people who are exhibiting behaviors before it becomes even more severe.
Then maybe we have a greater chance at stopping the cycle dead in its tracks.
This issue needs to have a spotlight shined on it, and we all need to become better educated because that will help reduce the number of incidents.
Back in 2000, we were looking at a landscape where agencies and departments were all working on their own with regard to domestic violence issues.
All the parts were disconnected, and so it ended up in a lot of things that ended up endangering public safety. A lot of families and individuals were put at risk.
I have close friends who've been impacted by domestic violence, and I know at that time there was a lack of knowledge about resources and the courage and the strength my very good friend needed to remove herself from the situation.
Domestic violence is not an issue that just sits alone and there's only one treatment for it. It really does take a team of different organizations.
In order to incentivize getting different departments and agencies to work together, we decided to create something called Zero Tolerance for Domestic Violence.
I think it was extremely bold. County systems in this state and probably across the nation often operate autonomously from one another. So for someone to take the perspective that things needed to be coordinated and that the client needed to be at the center of how services were being delivered was quite bold. And it was the very first initiative in the state of California and has been duplicated a number of times since.
Zero Tolerance has created it as an ability for us to come together, see our common bonds, share what we need to share in terms of information and resources, and then support each other in supporting the families.
There has been a lot of increased awareness and collaboration between the different players, between the police, probation, the DA, the courts.
They all play a very, very vital role in making sure that the wraparound services are there just in case. Just in case someone needs to dial 911, or just in case someone needs to call a friend and say, I don't know what I need to do, and oh, I do. Let me help point you in the right direction.
The fact that we have established a domestic violence court in this county is a positive step.
It's made a huge difference in, I think, the role that police define for themselves in the area of domestic violence. Instead of thinking that this is just a family matter, they see themselves as someone who has specific tasks that they can do to make this particular community safer.
People across the board understood the importance of fighting domestic violence and the importance of bringing together health, social services, law enforcement, and the community.
And not only has Zero Tolerance efforts made collaborations, made coordinations, and leveraged everybody's resources to make it the most effective use of everyone's resources, it has also sent out the drumbeat in our county. It's laid down the message that everyone has a right to live in safety.
The investment in prevention of domestic violence is a lot less expensive than addressing the aftermath.
The Board of Supervisors believed in this enough that they made it a priority, that they gave it a name, they gave it a space, they gave life to it. I think that's what politics should be all about, and to be able to recognize when there's a problem and to be a leader enough to put people together to solve that problem.
We're already state of the art. We need to continue to grow, continue to innovate, continue to focus, build partnerships, build collaboration.
The great thing about a good idea is a lot of people want to attach themselves to it, and it becomes a collective effort and not just an individual effort, and that's what happened here. Everybody recognized it as a good idea and wanted to be a part of it.
Because it's about serving people in need. And if we're not doing that, then we're not doing our jobs. So get on board, help us get even better than we are, and serve those young children that are facing horrible images at home. Serve those spouses that are in terrible situations and help cure the problem.